What's going on? Hello and welcome to the Hobby Corner. My name's Kev and this is a massive preview update thingamabob. I don't know, I don't do these often, but I was really excited about what's going on with Warhammer 40,000, and I've watched every single preview, live streamed. I've written a whole load of notes. I tried to see what was written on the whiteboard behind and everything, so there's going to be some information missed, but you know what, I've got as much as I can, and I've even quickly had a look at the brand new website. So 9th edition, or I don't know if they're going to call it 9th edition, but I think it is 9th edition. Before I get that, don't just ignore the noises that you hear from the kids and that, because this is like very much on the spot and it's not nap time or anything yet. So anyway, ignore the noises. But yeah, 9th edition. Wow. We're going to get so many different things, so let's just work through the list quickly. Okay, first thing I noticed was that the logo they were using on the live stream and on the new app logo was a little bit off. I'm sure they sorted that out. It looked like they did on the videos, so not too worried about that, but it was like slightly off center. The writing was, and the R was just hanging off the wing a little bit. But anyway, the cinematic trailer for the new edition, amazing quality. Like, it's something that you'd see for a brand new video game. The special effects, the drama, the little narrative that was running through it. There's poor guardsmen getting just absolutely obliterated by the Gauls weapons. The Sister of Battle healing herself, that was amazing. And then like seeing the new Necrons, like the weapons are now more in line with the rest of the range, which is brilliant, because we've kind of been waiting for that for a long time. So those plastic tubes, but we'll get back into that in a minute. We also saw a big three-legged dude, which was really cool. Possibly a new destroyer replacement, maybe, or maybe like the equivalent of a lieutenant. So like a sub-commander to a lord, rather than just having the warriors and then lords. Then there was the really big dude, with 3 arms, it looked like, strangely enough, 2 on one side, one with a giant blade and one with a giant it looked like a heavy Gauls weapon, and then the other one had a massive claw, like a flayed one claw, so that was interesting. And then there was new Primaris as well, so some a bit whatever, but they're definitely going to be a new lieutenant, 100%. It's all going to be the new Primaris are definitely going to be assault featured, so they're going to have chainsaws, power sword, heavy bolt pistols, sword and board style. You know, they're going to have big storm shields, which is great. There was one dude who had like a massive shield and a skeleton just tied onto it. How cool is that? Now we move on to, I mean, there's possibility of new terrain as well. With every edition, there's always new terrain possibilities. So yeah, there's that as well. And then we move on to when they were talking to Pete Foley. So he had a whiteboard behind him. I couldn't quite see a lot of what was going on, but I definitely did see just to his left, our right. He wrote new codexes, and he had crossed out squats, Tyranids, new Xenos, and new Primaris was left. So I don't know if that's a hint of what's to come, or if he's, just having a bit of fun with us, or possibly there might be new things leaked in for the other systems. You don't know. Then we got a better look at the new warriors. So as I said before, the weapons look a lot better. They're much more in line with the immortals and the heavy blast Gauls weapons, which is great. They look a bit more sort of alien-like. The facial features have changed slightly, so it's no more like skeletal in a human nature. It's more skeletal in a more alien way, which is great. It sets them apart a bit more and gives them a bit more character. It will take a bit of getting used to, but I'm sure once you're paying like 50 of them, you won't notice the difference. And there seem to be a couple more different poses on them, so they'll mix well with your existing range. There would they come with 2 weapon options now. So before it was just the Gauss Flare, that's it. But now they've got a new weapon called Gauss Reaper. Or Gauss Reaper. Okay, I don't say Gauss, but apparently it's Gauss. So Gauss Reaper, it's going to be an assault weapon, which is cool. So more shooty, and it makes holding objectives a lot better as well for the Necron warriors. Possible new scarabs as well. I did see a little scarab on the back foot of one of the minis. So I'd be surprised if they didn't update those, because they are a bit bigger than they should be. They're supposed to be a lot smaller, and those scarabs are quite an old sculpt. So we'll see. I mean, they got the technology now. They actually said they now have better technology that they can do smaller things like that. Then they showed us well, I mean, they didn't show us. They were talking to Stu Black, and he kind of let slip that the Silent King it will probably be coming, or something heavily based around him will be coming. So he kind of basically confirmed it, but didn't. So you can never tell, though. They like to troll us sometimes. Then they moved on to a brand new novel series called The Dawn of Fire. The first one being written by Guy Haley. He's a fantastic writer, and it's going to be called Avenging Sun. And much like how the Horus Heresy series set that history, you had The Beast Arises, which set that bit of history. This will be set in the current times and will be forging the narrative for the ongoing story of 9th edition. So if you want something more lore heavy, then that'll be it. And kind of like back when Age of Sigmar launched, and they had the Realm Gate Wars, and that sort of led the narrative throughout that sort of stage of the game. What else we got? Nick Kime is also involved. He was interviewed there, and then so that'll be cool. And then we went on to Mike Brandt. If you don't know who he is, he's a play tester for Games Workshop in America, and he's going to be running the competition. Well, not running the competition rules, but he'll be helping to write the comp rules. So for competitive play. So hopefully there'll be more of a unified comp rule system globally, because different areas have slight tweaks to their rules, how they play it. So they're trying to look to incorporate all of them and have more of a standard. He's also helping with the new 40k app, so that's going to get it's going to be much like the Age of Sigmar one. It's going to have a massive overhaul, and that's great, because then you get all your free information. Yes, the rules for 9th edition will be available for free as well. They're just going to be just a little bit more detailed with stuff like terrain, because terrain was a big grey area. So that's something to look forward to. And then, of course, if you want the big rule book just for all the awesome goodiness inside, then get it, because I will. So based on that alone, I'm going to assume that the new starter box is definitely going to have new Primaris in it, and it's definitely going to have new Necrons in it. There's a good possibility that it's going to have like a unit of Sisters of Battle in there as well, just to sort of flesh out the Imperium a bit, because they're always going to have Space Marines no matter what in the starter set. It's a big seller, but to incorporate like an additional unit from another Imperial faction, I think it's a good way of getting more people involved in those other factions. And historically, For the starter sets, off the top of my head, we've had Chaos a couple of times. We've had Dark Eldar, we've had Orcs, we've had Tyranids. You know, the latest one was Nurgle, Chaos again. So, and yeah, what was it? 7th edition, it was Khorne. Dark Angels and Khorne. Yeah, so yeah, it's definitely sort of incorporate another race into those starter sets, which is good, because Necrons, they always felt like they were one of those side races. They weren't like a big player. Lore wise, they were supposed to be a big player, but sort of product wise, they never felt like it, and now this sort of pulls them into it. And you never know, maybe in a few years' time, maybe in 6 or 7 years' time, if they do another edition or another 2 editions, they might end up having Tau in it. Who knows? Did they ever have Eldo in the start? I think they had Eldo in the start set as well. Maybe at one point. Who knows? Okay. Then so yeah, they're the new 40k app. Then Mr. Joe, is it Joe Hammer? I can't remember. He came on with 9 things about 40k to get excited. You know, 9 things that are amazing about it. The first one was that it was play tested like mad. So I assume that the last 3 years of this edition, of 8th edition, they've literally used it as a play testing scenario. Literally every competition that's taken place, every campaign in store, they've been taking notes and taking feedback and using that as a whole playtesting thing. And during that time as well, they're probably, because they work years in advance, they've probably been playtesting newer rules alongside those rules to see how they incorporate and how they work. So this should, never quite does, but it should go smoothly. There's going to be better support for narrative play, which is great, because I feel like narrative is a lot more fun to do. You know, if you want to do competitions, fine. If you want to have things evenly pointed, that's fine as well. But it's unrealistic in warfare. You're not going to have 2 generals just go, oh look, all right, they've taken 100 men, I'm going to take 100 men. Let's arm them all the same. It's not going to happen. More command points. They're going to increase them. Who knows by how much? Maybe 1 or 2, maybe 5 or 6. Who knows? Whether or not that will speed the game up or slow it down or make it more confusing, who knows? But I assume it's just a way of speeding up the gameplay. You know, having more abilities available to smash your opponents. The 4th one was tank rules are being tweaked, so they're a bit more useful. A lot of people suffered what's known as grot block, where a tank would just be charged by a grot. You know, the most useless bloody thing apart from a poxwalker, and it wouldn't be able to fire out combat, which was a bit dumb, really. So they're sorting it out, so it will still be able to shoot in and out of combat, and I think it's going to have a shorter range on them, so they might be able to do like close range shots, possibly. New terrain rules as well, so they're going to be fixing that. A big grey area again, as with terrain, so having that fixed is definitely better. You know, maybe being able to sneak up on the enemy and stuff like that. Different sized games, so they're going to probably lay out a few more rules on how to approach that, but it should be encouraged, different sized gameplays, because it all depends on people's budgets, space, frequency to play, availability. So being able to open it up for more people in all kinds of circumstances is great. Strategic reserves. Not too sure on this one, but apparently they're going to be incorporating a few more rules on that. So you know, instead of just having some people are just like deep striking in. There might be other ways of getting units on the board in more strategic ways, and outflanking your enemy a bit more. Then there's going to be better big gun efficiency versus hordes. So blast weapons, they're coming back. So a problem with 8th edition was a lot of the big guns, which were anti-infantry and supposed to be big, bombastic, blasting things, were treated the same as multiple shot weapons. You know, you roll a d6 and that's how many things you hit. And that shouldn't have been the case. So I'm not sure if they're actually going to be bringing in blast templates, but they're definitely going to be, they said they're going to be putting out maximum damage for larger infantry units. So that's great. They'll be doing what they're supposed to do. But aircraft rules as well. So like when it comes to strafing and stuff like that, there was always a problem if there was like a building in a way or whatever. You know, if you ran out of space, you crashed, blew up and died and stuff like that. And if you ran off the board as well, gone. So you'll be able to go off the board, come back as well, which is more realistic because a plane ain't going to go around in a small area like that. It's going to come back and whatever. And no more problems with the bases as well. I think they're going to sort out the rule where there was a lot of confusion about what happens when the base of the flyer comes into contact with infantry troops and stuff like that. So they're cleaning all that up as well. Right, and then they went back to Pete Foley and his whiteboard, and he'd put some other stuff on there. So there was a checklist of assembling stuff. Well, not assembling stuff, but a checklist. And the first one said assemble plastic Thunderhawk. So they've kind of been teasing that for the last few years. Whether or not it's actually going to be a thing, or I mean they teased it around the same time that they teased the Sisters of Battle, so it could be coming very soon. Maybe even by Christmas, you know, that'd be a brilliant Christmas thing. Right rules for Angron. So there's a possibility that Angron will be coming. Whether or not that's actually going to be in 40k or in another form, who knows? But looks like there's going to be another Demon Primarch on the loose. And then there was another one saying confirm that Dark Angels are actually the best, which they're not. But this could be a hint that the Lion, the Leon L. Johnson, the Primarch of the Dark Angels, might be coming back as well. So who knows? They might be using the same tech that they used for Gilliman. So there you have it. And then they said that they had a new website dedicated to this as well, much like they did for Psychic Awakening, because Psychic Awakening was like the prequel to this. So I'll definitely check that out. But before I did that, they said that there's going to be a Q&A on Tuesday. So they're going to be answering more questions. They might be even showcasing a few more bits. And then they finished off with another little sneak peek. And it very much looked like a command barge. A beefier, more fancy command barge, which we kind of thought might be the case based on the Necron teaser video that we saw before. There's a couple of dudes controlling it. It looked like there was a Satan shard powering it, possibly, because much like what was it called? I can't remember it, but it's that massive obelisk thing, and it's got the Satan shard inside, and it's powering the whole thing, and it's trapped inside the Tesseract Vault, I think it was called, or something like that. So yeah, it looked like they've taken that, popped it on a command barge, which would be excellent. And then it looked like there was a Necron Lord on there. Don't know if it's the Silent King It could just be a regular Lord, but with a new look and new weapon. But there's a big possibility that it might be like it might actually be able to be built like a throne, and you have the Silent King sitting on a hovering throne with big guns hanging off it, and a Satan shard powering it, which would be so cool. So yeah. Then I hopped onto the new website, so check it out. There's another little sneak peek in there. I'm not sure about the Primaris Rhino. It kind of looked like there was a new Primaris Rhino in one of the pictures. There's definitely a new Primaris Lieutenant, assault style. He's holding a plasma pistol, and he's got his storm shield like that, and he's got his power weapon holstered, or scabbarded, sorry. And then the new big Cron, big chunky thing, probably going to be about dreadnought size, maybe a little bit bigger, but it's about time they had something similar to counteract that. And it looks like it's armed to the teeth. So that's all I've got for now. They're probably going to be releasing more information on that. Yeah, keep an eye out, because I'm sure other people picked up on more stuff as well, especially Pete Foley's whiteboard. There was some bits that I just couldn't make out. So yeah, watch it again. I'm gonna watch it again. Maybe I'll see something else, but that's all I've got time for. So thank you again for watching. Please make sure you are subscribed and you hit the bell icon. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this video, and if you want more stuff like this. It's kind of fun, and I'm getting a bit of a rush on getting this done and out there quick. Also, links down below for amazing groups to check out, the Chilling Wargamers website, boom. And also there are ways to support the channel. So if you want to order stuff through Forbidden Planet, or if you want to donate to my PayPal or Patreon, then go for that as well. And that's it. So thank you again, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.